Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BCW. We are glad you've chosen to join us, and we hope that you didn't miss our first ever pay-per-view last night. It was one hell of a show, but tonight we are starting things off with someone who was not able to get the victory last night. That's right, here on the show tonight, we are starting off with Brandon Elliott. So, last night didn't go exactly as I planned. I'll admit that. I was on the ground when the fall took place. But here's the thing. My shoulders weren't on the mat. They were outside the ring. And I did not get beaten last night. I wasn't even involved. So, I want a shot again at the BCW Championship. But this time, I want it one-on-one. What a challenge here by Brandon Elliott, and right away, Frankie Carter out to respond. Will Frankie take Brandon up on this challenge? Will Frankie give Brandon another opportunity at his BCW Championship? I guess we will find out right now as Frankie enters the ring. You know, I am sick and tired of you coming out here every night begging for a shot. But you want one? You got it. All you have to do is beat all three members of the syndicate in a match here tonight. Then I'll give you your shot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this is our main event for the night. This match was made earlier this evening as Brandon Elliott challenged Frankie Carter for the BCW Championship. However, Frankie had one stipulation, that Brandon first face all three members of the syndicate in a match here tonight, and he has to defeat them to be able to challenge for the BCW Championship. Brandon and Frankie had an amazing match last night along with Justin Russell. However, Frankie was able to get the pin on Justin Russell after knocking Brandon outside the ring. So, the question remains, will Brandon get a one-on-one shot against Frankie Carter? He very well may, but first, he has to make it through tonight. Brandon has at one point or another faced every single member of the syndicate. However, he is yet to face all three of them at the same time. Also of note, he has not yet beat our current BCW champion, Frankie Carter, in a one-on-one match. So, will he be able to pull it off tonight? And now, here they are, all three men that Brandon will face tonight. They are known as the Syndicate.
And his opponents, at a combined weight of 876 pounds, Frankie Carter, Joey Spencer, Roger Valentine, and the Syndicate.
Nearly 900 pounds. That is what Brandon is facing tonight in these three men. None of them can be taken lightly on their own, but as a group, they have been absolutely devastating to the career of Brandon Elliott so far here in BCW. How will Brandon muster the strength to be able to beat not one, not two as he has done before, but all three members of the syndicate, including our current BCW champion, Frankie Carter? That is what we will find out here tonight. Is Brandon able to make his way into a one-on-one championship match against his opponent and the first man in the ring tonight, Frankie Carter? Right out of the gate, Frankie going directly for Brandon, showing that he is ready to go after their match last night. And Joey, already getting involved in this match, showing how very dangerous this match is going to be for Brandon Elliott. He is going to have to keep his head on a swivel here in this match. Frankie with a nice reversal there, catching the leg of Brandon Elliott, and then that nice arm drag takedown there. Brandon rolling out of the ring and then sliding back in, grabbing Frankie with the scoop slam there, just slamming him down onto the mat. and then quickly lifting him back up and slinging him across the ring here. And then just that running headbutt to take Frankie down again. Brandon, as we have become familiar, going up top and then dropping the leg across the chest there of Frankie Carter. Oh, and then nice maneuver to take him down, just slamming him down on the back of his neck. This is what Brandon's going to have to do to stay on top there. And just as I say that, Frankie Carter with a nice reversal, ducking under and then taking Brandon down. Joey now tagging into the ring and going directly for a headlock here. And then just that show-off mentality that we have seen so frequently from Joey Spencer here on BCW. Joey with that nice kip up there, and again, just showing off for this crowd here tonight. Oh, and then just stomping there on the arm. And again, Joey just getting pumped up here right in front of this crowd and making sure that he is putting on a show. Oh, and then just dragging Brandon back into the ring and going for the cover, but not enough as Brandon kicks out before the count of 1. Brandon quickly out of the way there, and then just that running clothesline to the back of the neck, just making sure to put Joey down quickly. Oh, Brandon with the kick there, and then the running scissor kick there on the back of the neck. Brandon with those stiff punches to the face, and then Joey quickly blocking and then picking up Brandon with that nice scoop slam there. Just throwing him down to the mat, and that is a long fall down because Joey is a very big man. Joey tagging in the fresh man and Roger Valentine, and now Roger taking his turn, just beating on Brandon here, but Brandon quickly getting underneath and flipping him over to get out of the way there. Brandon just tossing Roger into the corner there. Brandon and Roger have had a very interesting history so far in Brandon's short tenure here on BCW. And they have definitely had some back and forth matches so far. Roger rolling away and looks like rolling just far enough out of Brandon's range as Brandon went for that diving maneuver but was not quite close enough. And now Brandon making sure to drag him just a bit closer and hitting that aerial maneuver, flying over the top rope there. Oh, and then Brandon ducked under, but was not quick enough to miss him on the second attempt there. Roger just taking a moment, trying to figure out what he wants to do with Brandon next. He has had so many matches with Brandon here, and it is something that he is very considerate about when he's trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do next. And looks like he's going to give Joey the opportunity here to have a little more one-on-one time with Brandon as Joey just drops the elbow there. And again, just showing off for the crowd. Brandon quickly back up to his feet, knocking Joey down. And again, now ducking under. And then, oh yes, with that nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there. Brandon bringing Joey back up. And then, oh, going for the cutter, but unfortunately for Brandon, Joey was able to avert disaster there and was able to avoid getting hit with that maneuver. Oh, Brandon up against the ropes, no reversing, and these two men just back and forth here. Now Joey landing on his neck. That is a very painful landing. Oh, Brandon again just dropping him there on the back of his neck. And you have to wonder how many of those he'll be able to take. Oh, and then the cutter out of nowhere. Brandon tried it earlier, but it was avoided, but not this time. 1, 2. No, not enough as Joey kicks out at the last moment. Interesting to note that neither Frankie nor Roger tried to get in there, showing that they had the confidence that Joey was going to be able to kick out of that maneuver. Oh, and then Brandon hitting Revelation out of nowhere there again. And Brandon once again going for the cover. This time, Roger getting in, but no, it is not enough as Roger misses. He was going to try to break up the pin there, but it was not enough as he missed, and Brandon was able to take the victory. I have to admit, folks, I did not see this one coming. It was almost, I mean, as I said, out of nowhere. Roger came in to break up the pin, but completely missed. And that was enough for Brandon to be able to get the victory here tonight. And that means one thing and one thing only. Brandon will now receive a championship match one-on-one against Frankie for the BCW Championship. Now back in the ring, Frankie has grabbed a microphone. I'm not so sure what all you guys are excited about. This match isn't even close to being over. I told Brandon that he had to defeat all 3 members of Syndicate here tonight. So far, he's only defeated 1. That's right, this is an elimination match. And that means there's still 2 of us left standing. Start the match over. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. It looks like this match is going to continue. I was not aware that this was an elimination match, but apparently the stipulation stated that if Brandon could defeat all 3 members of Syndicate in a match. However, Brandon has so far only defeated Joey. That means he must now also pin both Frankie and Roger, or beat them by some other means. But at the end of the night, Brandon has to have defeated all 3 members. So, we've got this match back underway, and so far both of these men have been trading blows back and forth. Brandon running back into the ring now, possibly looking for a count-out victory as the ref reaches the count of 5, but it's not going to be enough as Frankie gets quickly back into the ring here. Frankie just tossing Brandon back into his corner and getting the tag there from Roger Valentine. Nice teamwork here between these 2 men as Roger just delivers a powerful kick, but Brandon quickly kicking out before the count of 1, just kicking out with authority there as Roger just pounding Brandon here with these stiff fists. Maybe showing a little frustration there after Brandon kicked out so quickly from that cover. Now just applying that pressure to the neck and back area. Roger lifting Brandon back up to his feet and now just twisting that arm over. Very painful position there for Brandon. Oh, but Brandon able to fight out with those punches in midsection. And then again, using that momentum there against Roger to flip him over. Oh, and then a very interesting move here by Brandon Elliott. This is something we have seen before from Roger, just using that sheer power and just headbutting his opponent. So a little bit of mind games maybe here by Brandon Elliott, as again, Roger works on that arm and just twisting it around, putting so much torque there on that shoulder. And again, good tags here by Frankie and Roger, making sure to both stay in this match and keeping each other fresh. Oh, and then a running headbutt there by Brandon. And considering he has been in this match by himself, Brandon has put on an impressive show so far here tonight. And again, going for the cutter, but not able to connect as Frankie was able to reverse it at the last moment there. And again, when you consider that Brandon has been in this match from the beginning by himself and has just truly put 100% of himself in here for the opportunity to be in a one-on-one championship match, it just goes to show you how much value Brandon places on that championship opportunity. He really wants to make an impact here in BCW. Frankie taking a moment just to jeer the crowd here, knowing that they are not on his side as he goes up to the top rope. But Brandon quickly up to his feet, goes for a drop kick there. Oh, and did not hit it as Frankie was just leaving that top turnbuckle and was able to complete the moonsault there, hitting Brandon on the way down. Just a very interesting set of moves there from both these men, doing everything they can to put it all on the line. Frankie ducking under there, and then the nice kick to the face, just knocking Brandon Elliott down, and Brandon quickly rolling out of the way. Oh, and then just smashing the face of Frankie Carter into the mat there. And just back and forth, these two men trading punches, just constantly blocking what each other's throwing at them. And you have got to be impressed with the effort that all four of these men have put in tonight, including Joey, who was eliminated earlier. Oh, and a nice move there with Brandon just smashing Frankie down on the mat. And the referee has reached a count of 6 as Brandon again goes for revelation on the outside. Will that be enough? Will Frankie be able to get back up and get into the ring? Will Brandon go for the count out victory? We will find out here in just a moment as Brandon, yes, runs back into the ring. And the referee has now reached a count of 8. Will Frankie? No, that is a count of 9. It does not look like Frankie's going to be able to get back in the ring. 10. Frankie has been eliminated by countout. And Frankie did not specify how Brandon had to beat these 3 men. All he said he had to do was to beat them. And a countout victory is just as good as any other. As Roger able to get his knees up there. Will Brandon be able to walk away with the victory? Roger again trying to go for those repeated slams of the face into the top turnbuckle. But Brandon, so familiar with that move that he was able to reverse it. And again, Roger throwing him back into the corner. Now turning him around. What's he going for this time? It doesn't matter as Brandon was able to reverse, hitting him there in the chest and knocking him down. And then again with the drop kick there. And just so much back and forth action. Such high-paced offense from these two men. Roger there with the headbutt, slinging Brandon back into the corner. And again going for those repeated slams in the corner there. Brandon again able to reverse and returning the favor there, slamming Roger's head into that top turnbuckle. Oh, and a nice pile driver there on Roger as Brandon goes for the cover. Is that enough? 1, 2. No, not enough as Roger kicks out at the last moment there before the 3 count. Roger back up to his feet. Brandon with a nice stiff punch there. And then with the block there, just not allowing the referee to see as Brandon is doing whatever it takes to win this match here tonight. Brandon calling for Roger to get up and then going for that cutter again and connecting. Will that be enough as Brandon goes back up top here? He is in position and he goes, yes, and connects. Will that be enough for the final fall here as Brandon goes for the cover? 1, 2, 3. Brandon Elliott has pulled off another miracle here on BCW. He not only defeated 1, not 2, but 3 men here tonight. And one of those men was the BCW champion. And what that means for him is that he is now the new #1 contender and is guaranteed a one-on-one match against our current BCW champion, Frankie Carter.
Here is your winner, the Anarchist, Brandon Elliott.
Make sure to tune in next week as we find out when the BCW Championship match will occur. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening, and thank you for watching us here live on BCW.